and welcome to the eve of the World Cup 2022 that is set to get underway in Qatar fully in a matter of hours. Excitement is brewing all around the world with anticipation. We know that first match scheduled to take place tomorrow is the host Qatar against Ecuador. What's funny, in the FIFA rankings, Qatar are 50th and Ecuador are 44th. But as we all know, when it comes to a World Cup game, when it comes to the sport of football, rankings mean absolutely nothing when the whistle blows.
100%. 100%. As long as the ball's round, anything can happen.
So true, so true. So looking at this week, we heard so many different stories. We even know that FIFA Unwrapped or whatever they called it has been out, and everybody's been watching. Just confirming a lot of the stuff that went on a number of years ago. And it's time for the game to be played. All that other stuff kind of needs to go away, and for now. But it's time for the game to be played, and the countries that have qualified for it have earned the right to be there. And now, looking at this first game, what are your thoughts on the opening match?
Well, obviously, as you said, the rankings are close, so I wouldn't expect it shouldn't be a lopsided game. If you think back to the World Cup in South Africa, when South Africa played, I believe it was Mexico, in the first game, and it was a close affair. South Africa scored first. Obviously, the home crowd could definitely play a part for Qatar.
Yes.
They don't have household names as us know. Ecuador probably have a few more household names and the history. But I think it'll be a good game. I think it could surprise a few people. And a stat I read earlier was 20 of the 21 hosts in World Cup history have advanced to the knockout stages. Wow. So Qatar's got a bit of work to do if they want to get because the rest of the group's not easy. Right. The Dutch and Senegal are coming.
Sure. As you well know, because that's your team, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But it's important to come out of the first game with at least a point. I mean, you don't want to have zero going into your second game, because now you're in a must-win situation. Even if you got a draw, you're in a must-win situation. But at least you have a point. But it depends on how you play, what you get out of it. So we have these teams that have all qualified, to get there, and now it's up to them. Once that first one is played, then we're on to a game or a few games each and every day, and we'll be here each and every night to bring you a preview and a review of the day's plays, and that actually starts tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we're going to be talking who scored the goals, who missed the goals, what the result means, especially with both teams set up to play another game in a matter of days. So it's one of the things that I know any coach wants to win, but he also wants a healthy team, because that's most important. You want a healthy team throughout the entire tournament.
Right. And on that note, the big news of today, yesterday was no beer.
Right.
Today, the football-related news, which is rather unfortunate, in that the Golden Ball winner, the Ballon d'Or, Karim Benzema, has pulled out of the World Cup. Unfortunately, that's France's second major injury, both to strikers, in the lead up to this World Cup, I guess, at the training camp that they're having. So Benzema is officially out.
Yes.
He actually announced that on
he sustained a thigh injury in training. That's unfortunate. Again, unfortunate for France, because he is a threat whenever the ball's in his area. France is already without Pogba, Kante. They're missing Varane as well. So hey, that's going to hurt our team. Chemistry when you're missing big name players such as that.
On the flip side of that, though, Benzema was suspended, or for some incidents that happened at the last World Cup,
Right.
and the rest of the strike crew that won it are all there. Now, yes, the midfield is a little lighter with Conte and Pogba missing, obviously two very important players during that run. But they do have the young boys from Real Madrid who will be looking to stamp their names. And if they do, they could see 3-4 World Cups ahead of them after this. So
Sure.
you got to take chances.
Yeah, when that opportunity presents itself, you got to be ready to take it with both hands and
Yes.
surely wear why you're there. I mean, every single player that steps on the pitch, whether it's in the 89th minute or the first minute of every game, you're there to represent your country, and you're there to show why you were selected. What do you, everybody's talking about England, everybody's talking about, all these other teams that probably are just making up the numbers and will be going home right after that. What's your thought on who do you think will be one of the first teams to be eliminated? Now, you don't get eliminated until the final group stage, but knowing if you lose your first two games, you're pretty much eliminated. So who do you think that team would be?
Well, another stat that we have to go off of is the reigning champions don't have a great next World Cup historically.
Right.
And they are missing plenty of key players, so I am actually kind of worried about France. They're not in the toughest group.
Right.
And they still do have plenty of options. I don't know. I kind of see this World Cup. Germany and Portugal. One of those could definitely slip through the cracks, because they're in a group with Ghana. If I'm not mistaken, I would love to see Ghana progress out of that group and even into the latter stages, obviously. But I think one of those two is on the watch.
Okay, to be eliminated.
To be eliminated, I think you could.
The talk around England is they want Portugal gone because Ronaldo could go and then he'd be out of Manchester United.
Yeah. They'll do that in December, but with England, I don't think they have to worry about getting eliminated in the group stage. But I'll be very curious to see how Southgate sets them up. As you know, they made the run to the European finals. The football wasn't pretty on the eye. Effective, but not pretty on the eye. Now, are English fans willing to, allow the football, the beauty to go for the results? I don't think they'd be too concerned if they wind up winning every game 1-0 and they're in the World Cup, semifinal.
Sure. They'll accept it as they're winning. The minute they lose, it all, the ugly head just bears itself. And that's the unfortunate thing. Like, you have this group stage, and then all of a sudden, you're into sudden death.
And it's all. And should we get sort of the favorites to go through, that round of 16's looking nice and spicy.
Sure.
So quarterfinal, the potential matchups.
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing the South American, the big teams from South America, obviously Brazil, Argentina. Both are very strong. Brazil's arrived. Argentina been there for a while. Obviously, they carry two great players, respectively, and that Messi fella.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that these teams come out and attack, at least in the group stages. I know once you get into those knockout rounds, you find certain teams just sort of sit back and try and defend, and it does get a little boring. But you're trying to win a trophy, right? So, but at least in the group stages, I would love to see like Brazil flying on all cylinders. Argentina flying on all cylinders to give us the excitement. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. The one thing I always caution people is that in the group stages, because you win a game, meaning you won the World Cup. You know what I mean? And that and just you was talking about you would like to see teams get off to a flyer. You like to see them be aggressive. Just make sure the fans understand this is the group stage.
Yeah.
You know, it counts after you get through that group stage because every 90 minutes after that is meaningful. If not, what they say, win or go home.
Win or go home.
That's right. So, you know, we're looking forward to this Qatar Ecuador match tomorrow. And again, we'll be on tomorrow evening at 8.
Yes, sir.
To bring everybody all the information that is needed regarding the match, the goal scorers, and then we'll also preview the games that will take place the very next day as well.
12 o'clock Monday, I got a date with the TV. The Orange get it started, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
But you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure most bosses already know there will be some call-ins that I'm not going to make it today, or I'm running late today, or you know what?
And some late lunches.
Sure.
Yes.
The smart ones, the smart bosses will put a TV up in the office and say nobody leaves.
I mean, are people still in the office working from home? So just block out that meeting from 12 to 2 if your team's playing the middle game, 2 to 4.
Sure.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to get started, especially as the week starts. Obviously, 2 teams playing tomorrow outside of their own countries. They're probably not going to be favorites.
Right.
They're not there for the television ratings, but to them, Ecuador has qualified. Qatar is there for footballing reasons, right? So yeah, sure. So yeah, it'll be good once it gets into the week.
All right. Well, Fully.
See you tomorrow night.
Whistle blows tomorrow, mate.
Check you later.
Tomorrow night. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, to bring you the results and the preview of the FIFA World Cup 2022. Have a good night.
You too.